Hello everyone, welcome for the Sia last minute revision. The subject for today is Fundamentals of Information Technology for BCom students. The current subject is Fundamentals of Information Technology for Bachelor of Commerce students. The examination date is on 29th January 2026. Dear first year, first semester students, this is for you. Fundamentals of Information Technology, the examination date is on 29th January 2026. Before going into the syllabus, before going into the important questions of each and every unit, we will see the question paper pattern. So, in the question paper pattern, you have part A. In the part A, 8 questions will be given and you have to answer any 5 out of it. Right, you are going to have 8 questions. The first 5 questions will be from first 5 units and the question number 6, 7, 8 will be from any of the 5 units. Right, so first question will be from first unit, second is from second, third is from third, fourth is from fourth, fifth is from fifth. Whereas 6th, 7th, 8th you might get from first to 5th, right, anyway. So you have to answer any 5 out of it and 5 into 2 gives you 10 marks. After this, in the part B, you have 5 questions, each carries 8 marks and you need to answer all the 5, right? So from each and every unit, you will have 1 question each. Then here, and you have an internal choice. You need to attempt either question number 9A or 9B, question number 10A or 10B, 11A or 11B, right? Please do not do the mistake of attempting 2 questions from the 2 questions from the same number, right? Please do not do that mistake. Either write 10A or 10B. Don't write 10A and 10B done here at a time. Maybe if you do something like this, the best one will be selected, the other one will be treated as an extra answer. Okay, and the number of marks, total marks for this part B is 40 marks. So you need to write 5, each carries 8 marks. So overall marks for your paper is how many, dear? 50. First part A, you have 10 marks. You have 8 questions. Out of 8, you need to answer any 5. 5 into 2, 10. And part B consists of 40 marks. 5 questions, 5 into 8, 40 marks. Done? Let us go into our unit number 1. Before teaching you this unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I want to convey you, we are not teaching the entire syllabus here. We have chosen certain questions which are more frequently asked in previous year question papers and we expect these questions will be in your upcoming semester examination also. Then here we are just expecting these questions, the probability of appearing these questions in your question paper is damn high. Right, we are only going to give you the important topics done as a last minute revision. All the best. In the unit 1, we have foundation of computing and digital business. So before going into anything, you just need to understand a computer is a most versatile and a powerful tool. A computer is a most powerful and a versatile tool which is capable of doing any task. But the biggest problem is computer will not understand your English. Computer will not understand our English. Computer understands only ones and zeros. Because computer is a machine, it understands machine level language, low level language, that is binary language. So we are going to see the block diagram of your CPU computer. How does it works? Then here what are the important components of it and what will be the different types of number representations. Okay, all those things we will cover here in the unit 1. So the one question, what are the hardware components of a computer? Again, see, this is one question which is most frequently asked in the previous year question papers. So we are hoping this for upcoming end semester examinations also. Let us start with what is software and what is hardware. Then here, the things which you can feel, the things which you can touch, right? The things which you can see with your naked eye, right? Maybe those things are called as hardware devices. The things which are inside your computer, running the process of your computer. Set of programs which perform a particular task is called as software. Okay. The important components of a computer system with regard to the hardware are input devices, output devices. Very importantly, right? Input devices, output devices. In between this, we process our data in the CPU, Central Processing Unit. And we also have one more hardware devices, right? That is communication devices. It may be for networking, it may be for data transformation. Done. We use computer networks. To start with, the hardware refers to all the physical components of a computer system. All the physical components of your computer system are considered as hardware devices. To categorize our hardware devices, we start with input devices. Input devices are used to transform the data from the user side to the machine, right? Input devices are used to transform the data from the user to the machine, like keyboard, mouse, microphone, touch screen. Done here. The things what I am using right now. I am talking to you. My voice is reaching to you. A mic is captured here, so my voice is captured and that will be delivered to you. Here a microphone is my input device. Same way you are listening to my voice and you are just looking at a screen. That screen is your output device. And your speakers or the earbuds what you use are called as output devices. The screen where you see me, my notes, the device which gives you my voice, the device which is used to listen to my voice are called as output devices. Now the device which is listening to my voice here, microphone, the camera which is capturing me, it is input devices. Okay, and obviously you know the input devices. The other famous input devices are like keyboard and mouse. The second set is Central Processing Unit, CPU. CPU is considered as the heart of your machine, right? And CPU is again internally divided into three simple categories. Nowadays, memory unit is considered as a separate part. If not, we have arithmetic and logic unit, control unit, memory unit. The traditional block diagram of a CPU, the traditional block diagram of a CPU looks like this. Control unit, arithmetic and logic unit, memory unit. And maybe in the some of the websites or in some of the latest textbooks, memory unit has been brought down as a separate component. Okay, no need to worry about this. Always memory can be the part of CPU. Okay, so in CPU, what are you going to do? You got the input from the user. That input will be processed in the CPU. It will be stored inside your computer. For that, we use memory unit. And if any calculations, if any analysis involved, arithmetic and logical unit will take care of it. Now this entire thing is controlled by your control unit. So we have control unit, controls all the operations, manages the input and output and processing of your data, manages the input, receiving it, done here, manages the output, delivering back to the user, and in between this it will process the data. It is done in the control unit. In the arithmetic and logic unit, any operations involved, any calculations involved, any analysis involved, those things are performed in the arithmetic and logic unit. Memory unit is used to store your data. And again we have two types of memories, primary memory and secondary memory. Primary memory is temporary memory, secondary memory is permanent memory. The memory devices like hard disk, pen drives falls under secondary memory. RAM falls under primary memory. When an application is installed into your machine, it will be actually stored into your secondary memory, permanent memory. But when this application is initiated, when this application is executing, it will transform the data from primary memory, secondary memory to primary memory, that is your RAM. Once the application is closed, the data transforms from the primary memory to secondary memory back. Now any another application comes, that application uses this primary memory. Hence we call primary memory is temporary, secondary memory is permanent. Primary memory is initiated, accessed only when the application is in the execution. only when it is in the execution. Once the execution is completed, data moves from primary memory to secondary memory. And the third one is output devices which are used to display your results, like monitor, printer, speakers. Done here. These are set of examples for output devices which delivers data back to the user from the machine. Fourth one, communication devices. We have network interface cards, modems, switches, then hub. These things are used to transform the data from one node to another node. These things are used to transform the data from one node to another node. And for the basic summary, look at the example. Look at the block diagram of our CPU. So, CPU first receives the data from the user through the input devices. Input devices will transform the data to the CPU. In the CPU, control unit will take care of receiving the data, processing the data, delivering the data back to the user. Now, if any sort of calculations are involved, if data need to be stored into your CPU, control unit will do that. Control unit will access memory unit. Control unit will store the data into the memory unit. Memory unit is divided into two categories: primary memory, secondary memory. And if any calculations are involved, that calculations are done by the arithmetic and logical unit. Calculations what we are doing are in the primary memory, results are in the secondary memory. Once the data processing is done, once the output is generated, it will be delivered back to the user using output unit. And you can also find one more term here, registers. Registers are the separate part of your memory unit. Registers are also used to store the data, but it is temporary, but it is very fast accessible resource. When you find something which need to be accessed at a very quick phase, then that thing will be stored into your registers. Okay, to summarize everything, what are the hardware components of a computer? We have basically four hardware components: input units, CPU, output units, communication devices. So in the input units, these are the physical devices which captures the information from the user and gives to the CPU for processing, like keyboard, mouse, scanners, microphones. In the CPU, central processing unit, we process the data, we store the data, and we transform the data to the output devices. So CPU is divided into three simple categories: control unit, arithmetic and logic unit, and the final one, memory unit. Once the data is received from the input devices, data is processed, the results are displayed back to the user using output devices. The results are displayed back to the user using output devices. So what are the basic output devices are? Monitor, printer, speakers. These are the basic output devices. And in the communication devices, we have modems, we have switch, we have NIC. So data will be transferred from one node to another node. Block diagram of computer. Thank you. Now let us go with the second question, number conversion. Done here. See, number conversion, here we are representing the data in different forms of numbers. Right? We are not changing data. The actual weightage of the data, meaning of the data is not changed. Only the representation will change. Done? See, we know Bumrah, no? One of the finest bowler of Indian cricket team, Bumrah. When Bumrah bowls a ball, right, in India, if he is playing a match, the Indian broadcasters will display the ball speed as 141 kilometers per hour. Right, the Indian broadcasters, the Indian Jio Hotstar will deliver it as a message will be displayed. He is bowling at a speed of 141 kilometers per hour. If the same bowler goes to Australia, if the same bowler goes to England, the broadcasters of that country will display 90 miles per hour. Same bowler, same ball, same speed, but they represented in different units. Here in India, we measure the speed as kilometers per hour, whereas in the abroad, in the other countries, they measure the speed as miles per hour. My height can be measured in the feet. My height can be measured in the centimeters. When I go with body mass index, usually we will have in the form of 5.6, 5.7, 5.8. When I go for any online application, they'll ask me to enter my height with centimeters. My weight here in India is kilograms. When we go to the other countries, we use pounds. Same way, we have the data, but we represent data in different forms. Why? Because as a user, as a human being, you and me understands decimal numbers. That is from 0 to 9. Don't confuse with your mathematical decimal numbers. 3.14, 7.89, right? They are mathematical decimal numbers. But in the means of computer, when I talk decimal numbers, the numbers which are constructed from 0 to 9. The numbers which are constructed from 0 to 9 are called as decimal numbers. Because what is deci? Deci means 10. Unary is 1, binary is 2, ternary is 3, poly is 4, penta is 5. Done here. Same way we have hexa. Hexa 0 to 7. Right? We have octal. We have octal. Done 8 numbers. Octal indicates what? 8 numbers. Done here. Hexa indicates 7. Hexa indicates how many? 7. Octal indicates how many? 8. Now decimal indicates how many numbers dear? 0 to 9. 10 numbers. You calculate from 0. Right? Not from 1. You include 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So any numbers which are constructed from 0 to 9, that is to the base of 10, are called as decimal numbers. The numbers which are constructed only with 0 and 1 are called as binary numbers whose base is 2. Now binary numbers are machine understandable language. Anything you give to the machine, English, Japanese, Telugu, Tamil, anything, it will be converted into ones and zeros. Machine understands only two things, 0 and 1. The next representation is octal numbers. In octal numbers, you have numbers only from 0 to 7. We don't have 8 and 9. We have numbers only from 0 to 7, that is to the base of 8. That is to the base of 8. So in the decimal numbers, I represent numbers as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, like this, so on. What all numbers you are using for your calculation purpose are decimal numbers. Your mobile number is a decimal number. Your PIN code is a decimal number. Your roll number is a decimal number. Your age is a decimal number. Whereas machine understands decimal numbers? Absolutely no. Machine understands only binary. And we also have octal numbers. Here numbers are from 0 to 7. That is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I jump directly to 10. And I jump directly to 10. Again level 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And I jump to 20. Because I don't have 8, I don't have 9. So I can't write 18, I can't write 19. Same way I will go on like this. 36, 37, 40. 45, 46, 47, 50. Now when it comes to 75, 76, 77, I jump directly to 100. After 77, I jump directly to 100. Because I don't have 8, I can't write 78. I don't have 9, I can't write 79. Same time, I can't write 80 also because 80 is not available. This is a different representation of the data. And where do you use it? I'll show you. Hexadecimal numbers. Hexadecimal. Hexa means what? 7. Decimals means what? 10. So decimals you got clarity. Numbers from 0 to 9. So numbers from 0 to 9. Now what about the other hexa? The other things are alphabets from A to F. Alphabets from A to F. A, B, C, D, E, F. Done? 6. Hexa stands for what? 6. Alphabets from A to F. Okay. So, how does this representations will take place? Same 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. After 9, I will not write 10. I will write 0A, 0B, 0C, 0D, 0E, 0F. Then comes 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19. Don't write 20. After 19, 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, 1E, 1F. Then comes a 20. Like this we represent our data. These are the different number representations. Okay. And for all these things you need to understand a universal dictionary for converting all numbers into one other category, converting binary into decimal, decimal into hexa, hexa into octal. We follow a universal dictionary. Entire universe follows this, which is called as ASCII. ASCII. American Standard Code for Information Interchange. ASCII table. Just Google ASCII table. You will get the confirmation for this. Just Google the ASCII table, you'll get the confirmation for this. ASCII, American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Universally, all the programming languages follows this. Right here. So coming to the decimal numbers, you have numbers with a base of 10. Examples are like this. Right? And the decimal numbers are constructed only from 0 to 9. Decimal numbers are constructed only using 10 digits, 0 to 9. Examples are this. And it is a standard system for everyday counting and calculations done by us. Entire mankind uses this. Binary number system, which comes with a base of 2. Binary number system is constructed only by using 2 digits, that is 0, 1. Examples. Binary system is the foundation for data representation in computers and digital electronics. Any digital device, any machine understands only 0, 1, 0, 1. For that we use binary. And after this we have octal numbers. After this we have octal numbers. Octal numbers uses a base of 8. So you have numbers, you have digits only from 0 to 7. You have digits only from 0 to 7. As I said, you don't have 8, you don't have 9. It is often used to simplify the representations of binary numbers by grouping them into series of 3 bits. See, binary digits are quite important because machine understands only that. Now to simplify that process and to group 3 bits as one set, we use this binary system, octal system. Same way in the hexadecimal done here, we simplify the binary code. We represent every 4 bits as one digit. Every 4 bits as one digit. Whereas in the octal, every 3 bits is represented as one digit. Here, every 4 bits are decided as one digit. So your binary data will be simplified. For that we use octal. Numbers are from 0 to 7. We use hexadecimal. Here in the hexadecimal, we have a combination of numbers and alphabets. Numbers from 0 to 7, 0 to 9 and alphabets from A to F. Hexadecimal. Decimal, numbers from 0 to 9, 10. Hexa, alphabets from A to F. So after 9, A is represented as 10, B is represented as 11, 12, 13, 14. After 19, don't write 20. 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D. Okay. So you can convert binary into decimal, octal, hexa. You can convert decimal into binary, octal, hexa. Anything can be converted into anything. I'll take you one example. How do you convert binary into hexadecimal numbers? So first you take the binary code. Divide the binary code into 4 digits each. Suppose if I have 16 binary digits are what? 0, 1, 0, 1. So if I have 16 zeros and ones, divide them into 4 each. One digit is 4 bits. So 16 will be divided into 4 digits. Sir, suppose there are 13 only, what should I do? Add 3 zeros before it. Add 3 zeros before it and make it 16. Because it should be multiple of 4. Because it should be multiple of 4. Just like this, right? The number what I have, I divided this number into 4 digits each. Done here. And again, as I said, just go and Google ASCII table and you'll find this. Just go and Google ASCII table, you'll find this. So the 001 represents 1, 1101 represents D as per hexadecimal. 0110 represents 6. Now 010110, what is that? Binary code. I am just converting my binary code into hexadecimal. Okay. We'll go with one last question of Unit 1, that is Internet of Things, which is more trending, which is most important thing nowadays, right? Internet of Things, which is used in the e-commerce. And again, as a BCom graduate, BCom student, you should be very much aware of what is commerce. Now, the same thing what you are doing, the purchase and sales, the delivery, the transportation of the data, everything what you are doing in the means of commerce, do it electronically, do it digitally. It is considered as your e-commerce. So nowadays, everything what with the food delivery, then the purchases what you do, everything are in the means of e-commerce only, isn't it? Done here. So how IoT helps in this? IoT, the Internet of Things, is a network of smart devices connected to the internet that collects and exchanges data automatically. IoT, Internet of Things, is a network of smart devices connected to the internet that collects and exchanges data automatically. Being in the first semester, you consider it as an AI, artificial intelligence, and we have a subpart of it, machine learning, and we have a subpart of it, deep learning and Internet of Things. So you consider it as an AI, done here IoT. And one simple live example is I use Instagram and I find a couple of reels quite interesting. I watch them, I spend much time on them. Automatically, the next reel will be from the same category. Automatically, my news feed, my wall will be filled with the same kind of reels. How is this taking place? Because it is reading your interest and it is showing you the reels of your interest. This is done by IoT. Right, and Swiggy, Zomato sends me a message for breakfast, Republic Day sales. Done the things what I ordered last year for the Republic Day. This year also it says that you ordered last year and now I am giving it for a discounted price. How is that? Internet of Things. Then it is connected to the different smart devices in the internet. It collects the data and exchanges the data automatically. And what are the advantages of using IoT or the importance of IoT in e-commerce is operational efficiency. Automation improves speed and accuracy. Right? Targeted marketing can be done. Uninterested things are not sent to you. Only the interesting things are sent to you so that my accuracy and efficiency increases. Customer satisfaction and personalization. Just now, as I said, personalized better service improves the user experience. Personalized better better service improves the efficiency for the user. So that I can talk to you as I am talking only to you. I can send the items, products, recipes as I am talking only to you. Zomato sends me those things. Flipkart sends me those things. My interests are captured by them and personalized mails are sent to me. That creates little more interest on the e-commerce. Done you? That is an advantage of IoT. Customer satisfaction and personalization is done. Data-driven insights. Continuous data helps for better decisions. Always remember, when you have a good amount of data, you can make good decisions. If you have bad data, garbage data, your results are also bad. Better data, better results. Better decision making. Done, and better decision making gives you better profits. So that data-driven insights. Continuously data will be analyzed and that analytics will be given to you so that you can make better decisions. This diagram gives you the importance of IoT in e-commerce. As we have covered the other things, right? The last one is cost reduction and competitive advantage. Right here. So instead of sending the bulk messages, instead of sending the messages to the user which are not liked by him, which are not showing any interest to him, instead of that you can send only the personalized messages to the user. That decreases your lower cost and as well as it creates little more interest to the user. Done. So these are the importance, these are the advantages of IoT in our e-commerce. You can make better decisions. Better decisions will give you always better results. And how come you are going to make the better decisions? Done here. We are going to have this operational efficiency and you are going to reduce your cost, reduce your marketing cost very importantly, and you are going to sustain in the means of competitive society. Done? So IoT is going to play a very important role in our daily life. Done? So we are done with our unit 1. For more content, please download Sia app. Let us continue with our unit number 2. In the unit 2, we will speak more regard to the data, storage and logical foundations. In the unit 1, I spoke about central processing unit. CPU is divided into 3 categories: control unit, arithmetic and logic unit, memory unit. This memory unit plays a very important role, because when the data is stored, it will be stored in the memory unit, and we have primary memory and secondary memory. Those things are discussed here in the means of data and storage. So one of the questions which was very frequently asked: what are binary number systems? Explain about the logical gates and or not. What are binary number systems and explain about the logical gates and or not. And again, in the unit 1, we have already seen binary number systems just 10-15 minutes ago, right? Binary number system represents the data in the form of 1 and 0. Because computer understands only 2 things in the universe: 1, 0. We call it as machine level language, we call it as binary language, we call it as low level language. Look at these lines. The binary number system is a number system with a base of 2. Binary number system is a number system with a base of 2. It consists of only 2 digits, 0 and 1. 0 or 1. Each digit in a binary number has a value based on the power of 2. And this binary number system is exclusively used in computers and digital electronics, because digital electronic devices understand only 2 things: 1 or 0. Typically 1 is considered as on or true. Typically 0 is considered as off or false. Typically 1 is considered as true, on. 0 is considered as false, off. Done here. So for that purpose we use this. And when it comes to the logical gates, based upon your input, I might generate a output, right? Based upon your input data, based upon your input in the form of zeros and ones, my output will be generated for logical gates. See, again, no, when I jump into the practical example of logical gate in the means of programming language like C, C++, Java, Python, we use logical gates quite efficiently. Like, I have my Instagram and I want to log into my Instagram. I need to give my username and password. I need to give the username and password. Suppose I gave the username correct, password wrong. Am I going to log into Instagram? No. Because the relationship between the username and password is AND. Right? The relationship between the username and password is AND. But again, I can give my username, or I can give my mobile number, or I can give my email ID. Username, or mobile number, or email ID. 3 I cannot give, I can give any one. That is enough for me. Any one is fine. Now the relationship between these 3 things is logical OR. When you have 2 or more, right, you can give only one. Whereas in the logical AND, I should have username correct, I should have my password correct, then only I can proceed. If not, I am not. Right? The relationship between these 2 is what? Username and password is what? Nana? Logical AND. And how does it work? We will see. So we have logical gates AND or not. Logical gate AND represents, in a way, output is true. Where I said 1 is on or 1 is true. So I will read it as true. Output is true only when all the inputs are true. Just now as I said, if username is true, password is true, then the complete logic is true and you can log into your Instagram. If anyone is wrong, you are out. That is logical AND. Logical AND says, if input A is true, input B is true, your output is true. Look at this. If your input A is false, output B is false, your output of A and B is also false. Then typically 0 represents false, 1 represents true. Typically 0 represents off, 1 represents on. Now look at the last column of output column. There is only one. There is only one case true. There is only one possibility of true when input A is true and input B is true. If at least one of the input is false, your final output is also false. That is logical AND. Logical AND says true and true is true, true and false is false, false and true is false, false and false is always false. Okay? Logical AND becomes true only when all the inputs are true. A little opposite to this is logical OR. If at least one is true, if at least one input is true, my final output is true. That is, output is 1 if at least one input is 1. Output is 1 if at least one input is 1. That is logical OR. True or false? True. True or true? True. False or true? True. False or false is false. Logical OR becomes false only when both the inputs are false. If at least one input is true, logical OR is true. Look at the last column of output. You have three possibilities of true. When at least input 1 or input B is true. If input A is false, input B is true, answer is true. Input A is true, input B is false, answer is true. Input A is true, B is true, answer is true. Okay? Logical AND says, I will give the final output as true only when both the inputs are true. Logical OR says, I will give the output of false. I will give the output as false only when both the inputs are false. And logical NOT, no, it is very simple. You give true, it gives false. You give false, it gives true. Logical OR, done here, it's the complement of input. So true becomes false, false becomes true. Right here. These are the three logical gates. And the next one, as I said, what is RAM and ROM? We have primary devices and we have secondary storage devices. RAM and ROM falls under primary. So quick summary, how do you differentiate RAM and ROM? RAM, random access memory, is a temporary memory which is used to store the data and progress currently in use. And see, programs currently in use. As I said, we have programs in the secondary storage devices which is permanent. From the secondary storage devices, I transfer the data to primary when the program is currently in the use. When the execution is taking place, data moves from secondary to primary. When the programs are terminated, when the application is closed, data goes back from primary to secondary. In the secondary, we store our actual final results. RAM is temporary. And RAM stands for random access memory. ROM, read-only memory. ROM stands for read-only memory. It is a permanent memory which is used to store important system instructions. It is a permanent memory which is used to store important system instructions. Data can be written many times for RAM because every time application comes from the secondary, RAM is updated. Every time data is moving from RAM to secondary devices, RAM is updated. Application starts, RAM data updates. Application closes, RAM data updates. Whereas in the ROM, data is written only for once. At the beginning, at the time you are initializing your system, it is done for one. That is ROM. Okay, RAM, data reads and writes for multiple times. ROM, data is written only for one time. You can read it for many times. RAM is volatile. Data is lost when power is off. ROM is non-volatile. Data is safe because ROM data is permanent. RAM data is temporary. RAM is temporary. ROM is permanent. So when power fluctuations happens or intentionally, unintentionally, accidentally you close your system, data in the RAM is lost, but not the data in the ROM. So your operating system instructions are stored in the ROM. Your application data is stored in the RAM. RAM works at high speed. ROM works at low speed. RAM is more expensive. ROM is less expensive. And again, you have purchased your mobile phones, no? Right? We have 156 GB, 256 GB, 128 GB. And if I want to access those things very effectively, I need to have a high RAM. right? People used to play the BGMI game. 4 GB RAM is minimum required, if not it will not work. When I was working with SAP, again 4 GB of RAM is minimum required. 8 GB is minimum required, if not it will not run. If your system speed is based upon your RAM speed, your RAM space, done. So RAM is high speed, RAM is most expensive. RAM is smaller storage capacity like 4 GB, 6 GB, 8 GB. RAM has larger storage capacity. Types of RAMs are DRAM, DD-RAMs, SD-RAMs, SRAM, DDR3, DDR4. That here there are various categories for types of RAMs. ROMs are PROM, permanent ROM, EPROMs, EEPROM, flash memory. That here these are the types of RAM, ROM, ROM. Okay, so the major difference between the RAM and ROM is temporary, ROM is permanent. RAM is volatile, ROM is non-volatile. RAM, small storage and speed. ROM, large storage, slow. Okay, this completes your question number 2. And nowadays again the most trending thing is cloud storage devices. We have Microsoft Azure, right? We have Microsoft Azure. Done here, an example of this. Amazon Web Services, an example of cloud. We have Google Cloud also, no? Right? Your WhatsApp messages, your Google photographs, everything is stored into your Google Cloud, right? Cloud memory is one of the most trending and important thing now. What happens is, see, I have lot of storage, but I don't have, I have lot of data, but I don't have storage. And purchasing the storage, maintaining the storage is a cost-effective thing, right? Lot of money is involved into it. Done here. Instead of that, what I do is, instead of purchasing the memory, I rent memory. And that memory is given to the users, and that memory is stored in the clouds. That memory is stored in the cloud storage. It is not in your system. It is not in your personal system. If the data is stored into your personal device, into your personal system, right now, I call it as local storage. And you can access it anytime. Then here it is your local storage. If the data is stored in someone's space, like in the Google space, I call it as what? Cloud data. So we have cloud storage and we have local storage, and quick summary, quick differentiation among themselves. Cloud storage is best for storing and managing the large amount of data. Local storage is suitable for small and limited data. Done here. Again, in my mobile phone, all photographs are stored into the cloud, not into my mobile. Because I am not wasting my mobile, because mobile data, mobile space, because space increases, my mobile processing speed decreases. And even when I change my mobile, I can get all my contacts back. Because my contacts are not stored in my mobile, my contacts are stored into my Google Drive. So huge amount of data can be stored into Google, huge amount of data is stored into Microsoft, huge amount of data is stored in where? Cloud storage resources. Whereas local storage resources are limited or small in size. Data is stored on internet or remote servers. As I said, in someone's server I am storing the data. And the advantage is you can access it anytime. If the data is stored in the local storage resources, data is stored in a personal computer or in a local device. So you don't have remote access. Maintenance is handled by the service providers, you don't have to worry about it. But here maintenance is done by the in-house faculty, in-house IT staff, in-house personnels. Done here. Cloud storage provides high reliability and availability because you can access it from anywhere, anytime, any part of the globe. Only you need to have a proper internet connection. That's it. You can access it from anywhere, anytime. Whereas local storage, reliability depends upon the local hardware and power supply. Allows easy file sharing for remote and global teams. As I said, anyone in this globe, anyone from any part of the globe can access the data. Allows easy file sharing. File sharing is limited to the local devices or local network, LAN. Right? If you are connected to the other system in the same room, in the same building, then only you can access it. If not, no. That is limitation for the local storage resources. Speed depends upon your internet connection. You have a damn high speed internet, then your data access is also damn high. Very fast access within the local system because you are directly taking from your local system. Office offers built-in security features, yes, right? Online resources, this cloud services provides you the better resources, better security resources when compared with the local. Because the local server, the local system is managed by the local users in that particular organization. And here, so that maybe the data is shared. Maybe the data is little insecure when compared with the cloud services. Okay. So in the cloud, we store the data in some other server which is remotely accessed by the service providers. So the maintenance security is the job responsibility of that service providers. Whereas in the local storage, data will be stored into my personal computer system. So the maintenance and security is my job role. Okay. So cloud storage is best for storing and managing the large amount of data, and the best advantage is you can access it from anywhere, from any part of the globe, only you need to have a proper internet connection. The maintenance and security is done by the service providers. And the biggest advantage is file sharing can be done remotely, globally. Data can be accessed anytime, anywhere. It is available. Local storage devices, data is stored in the local device where the limitation for the local storage devices is availability and accessing. You can access the data only if you are using that personal system. Only you are into that personal space. If not, no. Speed when compared to the cloud, the speed of local resources is high because you are directly communicating with the machine and you are directly talking to the data. So your speed is high. Right? Maintenance and security is managed by the individual personals of that organization. Done deal. This is about your cloud storage and local storage. The last question of our unit 2. What is the role of data in business decision making? See, without data you can't construct information. Information is extracted from the data. What is information? What is data? Data is a raw collection of facts which is unorganized. Information is a processed data. Information is processed data. So if I give the inputs like this, 45, Srikanth, C language, FIT. What is this? Done? There is no meaning for it. If I make it as an information, 45 are the marks of Srikanth in C language subject or in FIT subject. That is organized and you call it as what, Nana? Information. And better information gives you better decisions. Better information gives you better decisions. And here many organizations do their annual meeting, half yearly meeting, quarterly meeting, right? They will just see the numbers. How are the sales for this particular stylus? How are the sales for this particular screen? How are the sales for last 6 months, last 3 months? They will sit and they will analyze. Then accordingly they will make their strategies for the next coming year, so that they have to go to profits. 100% everyone need to enjoy the profits. Everyone are working for the profits. And how come they will make those such decisions? Done here. Flipkart and Amazon are giving so many offers for this Republic Day. Done, and it will send a message to you personally. How? Because they have the data about you. What are your interests? What are the things you purchased for the last year? So that they provoke, so that they send a message to you. They give a information to you. Please purchase this. By which what happens? You might purchase. By which what happens? Their sales might increase. So data plays a very crucial role in the decision making. Data plays an important role in making correct and effective decisions, right? Effective business decisions. It helps the people to understand, the high level categorical people in the organization to understand the past performance, analyze the present situations and plan for the future. Again, as I said, why we are doing all these things? To enjoy the better results, to enjoy better profits. Okay, so data plays a very crucial role in trying to understand what are my past performance, analyze the present situation and plan for the future, so that you are going to have the better results. By studying the data, companies can reduce risk, companies can improve accuracy and make better decisions. Right here. So Applications where the data is helping the organizations to enjoy the better results is marketing and sales. Helps in understanding the customer needs and doing the targeted marketing. Companies like Amazon and Netflix suggest products based upon the customer data. This is what I was saying from the very beginning. No, Netflix, Amazon, then Flipkart, they will send you the personalized message, the things which you quite like, the things which you quite interested, then the things which you visited in last 1 month, 2 months, or last year, the things which you visited, which you spent little more time, those things are delivered to you back, so that the marketing and sales can be increased. Then if I send 10 messages to you, out of which only one is interested, the other 9 are completely not interested to you, what are you going to do? You are going to block me, you are going to report me. Instead of that, I will send you only one message, only one product to you. You might like it. Done here. That is targeted marketing. Operations and supply chain helps in reducing waste, predicting the demand, and improving the delivery system. Done here. So that supply and demand. So what are the things required? Accordingly, I will produce. Accordingly, I will manufacture, I will design, by which wastage is reduced. Finance and risk management helps in analyzing the profits, managing the risk, detecting the fraud. Banks use data to track unusual transactions. That is for finance and risk management. Human resources helps in hiring people, improving the employee performance. How the people are performing, where are they performing, what is their strong zone, how to employ them, how to suggest them, all those things will be done with this. Done. Thank you. These are the applications of data business. Done here. Data plays a very crucial role in understanding and performing all these things. Thank you. We will continue for the unit number 3. For more content, please download the Sia app and follow the social media handles of our Sia app. Thank you. And we will start with our unit 3. We will go with our unit number 3. In the unit 3, we will be talking about what are the software applications available for the business. Again, you are going to make better decisions. You are going to have a better understanding about your data. For that purpose, what are the software applications which are available for the business and what are those categories, kinds, we will discuss. So we will be discussing about ERP, we will be discussing about CRM, all those things. Then, what is a software? Software, set of programs, set of instructions which perform a particular task. What is a software here? Software is set of programs or instructions which perform a particular task. We have two types of softwares: system software, application software. System software is first, application software is second. In the system software, the best example is operating systems. Right? You know, operating system is the heart and soul of your machine. Every electronic device will have an operating system, and all the input and output devices, all the softwares, everything what connected to your machine are operated by the OS only. Second one is application software. Just now, as I said, OS will operate the other application softwares. Done. So Facebook is a social media networking site. So when I want to log into my Facebook, I need to have a Google Chrome, I need to give my username, password every time. Once I log out, my data is lost. Instead of that, I have an application in my mobile. So that I can use it effectively. I need not to log in every day, only for once. Anyone sends a message, notification. People sitting in your home, people sitting away from the Hyderabad, away from the center part of the Hyderabad, you are into various parts of the Telangana. But still you are listening to my class using YouTube, application software. I am able to display my data to you. I am using an application for this. Right? My voice, my gestures, my hand gestures, my everything is recorded. We are using an application for it. Application softwares are the special purpose softwares which makes our data access efficient and effective. Okay? So we'll start with system software, that is operating systems. Operating systems is considered as the interface between the user and the machine. Operating system is a system software. As I said, we have two types of software: system software, application software. Operating system is a kind of system software that acts as a bridge between the user and the computer hardware. If a user need to talk to a machine, we need to have an operating system. So this is an Android based operating system where the smart screen I can access. The smart screen I can type, I can write. It is an Android based operating system. Usually Windows, right? We also have something like Unix, Linux, and when you are using your iPhones, iOS. For iPods, we have Mac OS, and most famous thing where every one of us maximum uses what? Android operating system. Without an operating system, a computer cannot works. A computer cannot work. Operating system helps you to start, run programs, use hardware properly. Everything installed into your computer can be used. You can install new things into your computer. Everything is based upon operating system only. Okay, what is an OS? OS is an operating system, which is a kind of system software which acts as a bridge between the user and the machine. And coming to the functions of the operating system, first thing is memory management. Just now, as I said, in the secondary memory we have your actual data, permanent data. When the application is initiated, the data from secondary memory moves to primary memory, right? And you can store your data into the secondary memory. Who is taking care of all these things? OS, that is memory management, which manages the RAM and gives the memory to programs. From the secondary, it is moving to primary. What is primary? RAM. That management is done by OS. Memory management. Second one is process management. Which program need to run when? If a program comes with the high priority, all the programs need to stop. That high priority program need to work. After certain time slot, program need to be stopped. Even it is executed, completed or not, it need to be stopped because the next schedule comes. Which program can access which data? Which program can access which file? All those things are done by process management and file management, under file management and process management by our OS only. We also have device management, like it controls the devices, keyboard, printer, mouse, which need to be assigned to which program can access which input and output device, which program can access the networking resource. Everything is decided by your operating system only. Okay, see, it manages memory, it manages process, device, files. Memory management, assigning the programs to the RAM, is done by OS. Process management, scheduling and running the programs, which program to be run when, which program comes with the highest priority, it need to be executed first, it is decided by the OS. Device management, it assigns the keyboards, controls the keyboards, printers, mouse and other input and output devices, hardware devices to your programs. OS will do that, device management. File management, it organizes files and folders. Security, it provides you the better security with the authorization and authentication. That is by using passwords and different types of permissions will be given to the user. So I might have a permission only to read the data. You might have a permission to read the data and update the data. Maybe someone who has permission to read the data, update the data, delete the data. Done here. That is authorization given to the users, permissions given to the users. It is done by the operating system. Security. User interface. With the help of GUI or CLI, character user interface or graphical user interface, you will be able to talk to your machine. So I am using here graphical user interface, Nana. I am able to touch my screen, I am able to see my folders, I am able to create them, delete them with the help of GUI, graphical user interface. Maybe if you heard about MS-DOS, disk operating system, where we work more precisely with the characters. CLI, character user interface. There your actions, there your instructions will be given only with the keyboard, only with the characters. Done here. That is your user interface. Based upon your operating system, you go with graphical user interface or you go with character user interface. Networking helps communicate nodes with another nodes, helps communicate your computer system with the another computer system, your electronic device with the another electronic device. For that also we need to have an OS. Final one, power and resource management. Saves power and uses resources efficiently. If your system is idle for 10-15 seconds, it will automatically lock it. It will automatically take into the sleep mode. Other resources will be relaxed and I am not using them, so that your power will be saved. Done here. So these are the functions of operating system. We have memory management, process management, device management, file management. Then we go with the security, user interfaces, networking, and saves power. So to remember these things, we have just simplified something like this. Remember MPDF and SUNP. Whereas in the MPDF, you have memory management, process management, device management, file management. These are the resources managed by the operating system, and the additional features provided are security, user interface, networking, and power save. And so you remember something like this. So it will be easy for you to go into your exam and write them. And you will have a simple diagram for the same. Done here, because diagrams always impress the evaluators. It might give you the good marks. The next topic is mail merge. You know mail merge, right? Then here in the MS Word, I can create one letter and I can send that one letter to different users with their specific name, designation, or any other fields, so that a personal message will be sent to that particular person. Done. So if there is a requirement, I need to write letter to 10 people. Don't write 10 letters. Write only one letter which will be sent to 10 people with their names and designations or any another field which you interested. That is mail merge. Okay. So mail merge is a feature of Microsoft Word which is used to create many personalized documents at once. Many personalized documents at once. So you write only one document, but this document will be sent to multiple people as a personalized one. Then here, instead of sending a letter without any heading, without any prefix, without any address, you send the same letter to 10 people with their addresses. So what we need to do? We need to do mail merge. And mail merge process is quite simple. First, you need to have your original actual data, that is your letter. And then you need to have your contacts. Now, you have to just merge. Merge is what? Joining, appending. You have to just merge, you have to just merge the first contact details with this letter, send. The second contact details with this letter, send. The third contact details with this letter, send. So that a personalized letter message will be sent to your recipients. That can be done with the help of mail merge. As I said, you need to have two documents, master document and your recipient's document. Then here in the master document, we write our actual message. In the recipient's document, we type the information, the address, name, designation of your concerned people. Okay? Just look into this. What is a mail merge? It is one of the important feature of Microsoft Word. When you want to create many personalized documents at once, you can use your mail merge. It is mainly used for letters, certificates, like labels and invitations where the format is same but details will change. Where the template is same but the details will change. Like certificates, one of the good example. Certificates look similar for everyone. Only thing changes is your name, roll number, college name, something like this. So don't generate 100 certificates for 100 people. Generate only one certificate, right? We will duplicate it for 100 people. Then how again? Personalized, right? You have to leave the columns like name, roll number, column, program, course empty. You generate an empty template. Then you generate this empty template with the first details. One message, one certificate is created. Empty template with the second student details. Second certificate is generated. Third certificate, third template with the third student details. A third certificate will be generated. Like this we do in the mail merge. Okay. So sending the same letters to many people with different names and addresses is one of the examples. And how does you do? Where does it available? As I said, diagrams create a clear view. So in the menu bar of your MS Word, you have a tab called as mailings. You can see like this. Right, in the menu bar where I have file, home, insert, page layout, we have to choose what they are mailings. In the latest versions, it is under mailings. Mailings, and you have to choose what? Smart mail merge. Mailings, you have to choose what? Smart mail merge. As I said, you can mail merge letters, certificates, labels, invitations, anything. So out of this list, you need to select one. Out of this list, you need to select one. That is your first step, right? Keep your main document ready, which contains the common text which need to be sent to the everyone. Second thing is data source. Data source are basically Excel tables which consist of the details of the persons, details of the recipients to whom you need to send the data. So if I take a student like roll number, name, program, course, college. If I take an employee, name, designation, organization name. Like this, you need to keep a Excel table ready with all the fields which you want to insert into your letter. Okay, so these are the two things, ma. Main document is the common letter, common content which need to be sent to everyone. Data source is the individual person name, designation, or any another field, so that both things will be clubbed. One letter, one main document, 10 certificates, 10 data sources, 10 details. Now you generate 10 letters. One main letter, 10 details. You generate how many letters? 10 letters for each individual person. Merge the fields. Placeholders like name, address, designation, you have to put them and task is completed. You can mail the result document or you can download the result document. You can save the result document into your local storage. Anything can be done. Okay. So please remember the steps. Create the main document. Select or connect the data source. In the main document, you have your common letter. In the data source, you have the information like name, address, etc. Then insert the merge fields. Which one you need to insert? Name, address, which one you need to insert? Insert. Preview the result, finish and generate the documents so that your documents are created. Done. Now the second part of the same question is collaborative learning. Done here. So we have various collaborative learning tools. We have various collaborative editing tools like MS Docs, Google Docs. Done here is one of the best example of it. And even we also have in the Microsoft, where I will be able to share my data with another person so that we both can edit at the same time. So that we both can see the changes at the same time. If not, what happens? I edit my document in my data and I have to mail it. And any edit you make, it is not visible to me because you are doing it in your system, in your local system, not in my system. Instead of that, what we do is, we will take a document, we will go with the top leftmost option to me. To you, top rightmost option, share. Right? To you, top rightmost option, share. You have share, under the share you have various options. Like you can share only to view. Any changes I make, you can see immediately. I can share with suggestions. So I can make the changes, but you can comment. You can suggest. You cannot make direct change to the data, but you can comment on it. You can suggest the changes to me. And the third option is you can make the changes. I can make the changes. Right here. So when I share the document, any change made by you, you can see. Viewer, you can only view it. When I share the document, you can comment and suggest to me. Commenter. Right? When I share the document, you can also make the changes to that. Editor. Done here. Based upon these three options, I will give you the permissions to you so that you can change the data. Right? So I have my data. I will go with my rightmost option, share, and I have options like this. Real-time editing. All users can edit together. Comments and suggestions. Users can give the feedback, but users cannot change it. And version history. Previous changes can be viewed or restored. Anyone making any change, done here, and you want to go back to the previous one, the original one, you can go back. Done. Anyone who make the change, you will be able to see it in the version history. And the best advantage is better coordination. It avoids confusion. I can sit together and can perform the task. Okay. The last question of our unit 3 is, what is enterprise software? That is ERP, enterprise resource planning, and CRM. What are those things? That here, and maybe you have seen what is ERP. I'll give you a very simple example. Then we go to our college, maybe in your schools also, there was an application where everything of a student is displayed there. Like your attendance is displayed there, your fee payment can be done there, any messages, activities, information to be passed to you, it is displayed there. Your internal marks, right, is displayed over there. Your assignments is taken from there. Everything is done from there. That is an ERP. As an employee, I have an ERP. Then I take a selfie so that my attendance is recorded. My salary details are there. If I want to apply a leave, I apply from that application only. That is a ERP for me. Done here. So ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. Before going to the ERP, we need to know what is enterprise software. Enterprise software is a software used by organizations. Enterprise software is used by organizations to manage all important business activities like finance, sales, production, customer handling in one system. Everything of that organization is done in one place. That is called as your enterprise software. ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. Enterprise software is a software used by the organizations to manage all important business activities like finances, sales, production, handling in one system. When it comes to the ERP, it is a centralized enterprise software. Again, interchangeable terms. ERP is a centralized enterprise software that connects all departments of organization at one place. So that the most important advantage is automation and real-time data sharing and smooth coordination between the departments, so that data is stored at the one place. As I said in the collaborative learning done here, everything is maintained at one place and everyone have an access to see that. So transparency increases, coordination increases, planning increases, and all these things gives you better results. Done here. That is your ERP. And these are the different kinds of modules in ERP, and again we have plenty other modules available, but we find these are the topmost modules which are used by the organization, like material management, production, sales, marketing. Okay. Modules of ERP are financial accounting, we call it as FICO, FI, manages accounts and financial reports. That here manages accounts and financial reports under the modules of financial accounting. Controlling, controls the budgets and expenses according to your finance. Sales and distribution, right, manages orders, billing and delivering the orders. Material management, so when you want to have a production, you need to have the raw material, purchase of that raw material and maintenance of that inventory. Maintenance of that raw material comes under MM, material management. Production planning, plans for manufacturing activities, again based upon my inventory available, based upon my raw material available, or based upon my sales, I can design, I can plan for my production. See, there is a better coordination in between them, because when can I make manufacturing, when can I increase manufacturing, or when can I decrease manufacturing? When I have the proper sales and distribution, right, and when I have the proper material management. If the sales is increased, automatically I need to do production. When production need to be done, automatically I need to have what? Better raw material. Then only I can do production. Then only I can satisfy sales. Now the coordination between all these modules is managed effectively, efficiently by having a ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. Sales increased, you need to purchase raw material. Purchase falls under the finance and control of your budget. When the raw material is purchased, production can be done. And when production need to be done, again it is not done by itself. Human resource management, managing the employees. Done here, because production need to be increased, workers also need to be increased. That can be managed here. Then you see no, the connection between them. These are the different or basic models which need to be implemented in every organization for enjoying the better results. Done, and you do it automatic. You do it very effectively with the help of having a enterprise software at your place. Done here. Now coming to the ERP modules, I have a better diagram for you. Done here, the same things as I always say, diagrams give you the better results. Don't say, sir, I have to draw all these things. Simple, you draw the diagram, you put a flow chart and write what all the concepts you have here. Need not to draw the same face, same diagrams what you have here. Write the content, that's enough. And the advantages of having an ERP is it reduces the manual work and automatically improves the efficiency. Integrates all the departments so that we will not have any sort of confusion, misinformation. Done here, nothing is done. Everything is coordinated very transparently. Provides accurate and real-time information. And when you have all these things, you make better decisions. Done here. When you have better decisions, you standardize your business process, you improve your customer satisfaction, cost and finances is controlled or under the budget, and it also allows you to grow globally, and also it allows you to support global operations. Done here. This is the advantages of ERP. And the last topic of our unit 3 is CRM. What are the functions of CRM? CRM stands for what, Nana? CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management. It manages the customer information and interactions. It helps in organization to attract, serve and retain the customers effectively. The customers need to be retained. The customers need to be satisfied. Then only customers come back to us. Then only our sales will be increased. Then only our profits will be increased. Done here. So to maintain all these things in a single platform, we use CRM, Customer Resource Management. So it allows you to store the customer data in one place. It allows you to do targeted marketing. From the very beginning of the class, I am using this word. So personalized messages need to be sent to personalized customers, so that the interaction increases, so that the trust increases, so that the sales also increase. Improves customer services, manages customer communication and track customer interactions. Done here. These are the basic important functions of our CRM, Customer Relationship Management. So the advantages, satisfaction of the customer is increased. When the satisfaction of the customer is increased, customer will retain. When the customer retained, your sales are increased. Your sales are increased, you enjoy the highest profits. That is the entire summary of your CRM. That is the story of your CRM. Customer satisfaction increases the repeat sales. Done. Improves the business planning. Provides marketing insights. As I said, customer retained, sales increased. Sales increased, your business planning and your marketing insights will be increased. Disadvantages, data security issues. Customer may feel his data, her data is stored. Security might be breached. High maintenance cost, because when you want to do all these things, you need to have the high level equipment and as well as the high level trained professionals, obviously. Risk of cyber attacks. When the data is stored in the digital content, the next coming units we will discuss about cyber attacks. Then here we might have a chance of data breach. Limited flexibility, and final one, duplicate work may occur. You need to take a backup or you need to repeat in multiple places. That might occur. Then here, not very effectively. Your disadvantages are not stopping many organizations to not use CRM. All the organizations are currently using CRM. Okay. Thank you. We are done with our unit 3. For more content, please follow our social media handles, download the Sia app. We will continue with our unit number 4.